Hello, Dan.
Hello, Daddy.
I want to talk about a very important man, Olaudah Equiano. This man was very important in the life of our nation, but unfortunately, his history has not been taught as part of Igbo history. I want to talk about him today, and there is no better person than you to be one of those that will learn about him. You are supposed to learn about this man from primary school. But it's never late, so we are going to start now. The name of the gentleman was Olaudah Equiano. He existed about 200 years ago. He was one of the people that abolished the great tragedy, the great disaster called the transatlantic slave trade. He was an Igbo man who was enslaved when he was merely a little bit below your age, stolen from Igbo land, transported all over the world. He eventually ended up in England, where he played such a critical role in abolishing this act of man saying humanity to man that in London in the 18th century he was called the African Moses. This story is a story you must learn. When you talk to Igbos of your age, make sure you remind them to study the story of Olaudah Equiano. Did you hear me?
Yes.
You can now take your leave. You
Okay.
can go.
So you go.
I was going through this particular book today, Jewish Identity Among the Igbo of Nigeria, by Professor Daniel Lees, Swiss Israeli social anthropologist, when I came across the notation that Olaudah Equiano was known in London in the 18th century as the African Moses because of the incomparable roles, his incomparable efforts, his tireless efforts to see that slavery ended. This great Igbo, this unsung hero, was named or called the African Moses. By the way, a little bit about Daniel Lees. From the Jewish half of the family, Daniel studied of Igbo history and modern Igbo history, and even some analysis of Igbo culture stands out as the best work on the Igbo by a Jew. By the way, again, Daniel wrote the foreword of this book, the Igbos and Israel, an intercultural study of the largest Jewish diaspora, by your humble self, Remy Ilona. Daniel wrote the foreword. This is a book I urge everybody to read. Both books, in fact, they are chock filled with information. As men and defenders continues to firm up the foundations of the Igbo nation at the right time, which is soon. These books will be studied right from primary one to PhD levels by Igbos in all parts of the world. Because if an Igbo ends up a nuclear physicist, but he does not know his roots. He is like a tree without roots. That was why I called my son to be a participant to this show. You know, these kids of the computer age, they already have emails, YouTube channels. Every now and then, they go online and look at things. And I repeat, they should know about things like this, as we should all. And on this note, I thank you once again for contributing, for participating. Get your friends to subscribe. And if possible, go to Amazon and get our books. We have up to 20 titles or slightly less than 20 titles on Amazon. If you buy the books, you help us to subsidize them for sale to Igbos and other Nigerians who are operating in a country its currency is very weak. And on this note, I say may God bless you and good night.